Before I go through any slides, I want to tell you a story. And the story is how Return came to be. So my background is I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been lucky enough and been around long enough to have a couple of exits, but also to have failed as well. I think over the last few years, I started getting very involved in crypto, and within my friend group became known as the crypto guy. So bearing that in mind, people who wanted to get involved tended to give me a call, and I guess some of the most painful conversations I ever had was explaining to people how to download MetaMask, explaining to them what the recovery seed phrases were all about, how to transfer money in, how to buy crypto and which crypto to buy, and ultimately where to stake that crypto in order to get a yield. And after doing that experience a few times, it became evident that there's an opportunity to create a much improved user experience, a user experience that would be fit for purpose for mass adoption. And that was the birth of Return Finance. We're a portfolio company seeded and backed by DGH. And we're very lucky to be here because only in the last 5 months, we've been able to build the product and get out to market because of their explicit help. So, Return. The vision we had from the outset is one where if we're a fintech company, we need to build fit for purpose, regulated, compliant from day one. So having those values from day one made sure we started, when we looked at a blank piece of paper to architect the business, that we built with the right building blocks from the outset. That for us was absolutely essential. So compliance, regulation, and governance is at the center of what we do. Now, when we talk about user experience, for us it's about simplicity. Simplicity, and another word I use, the app had to be intuitive. Now what that means is for anyone who's ever used any banking app before, when they download Return, they'll know exactly what to do. We're not changing the rules of the game. We're giving them something, we're giving customers something that they expect. And last but not least, full KYC and AML. In today's world, we strongly believe in the future and the opportunity of DeFi, but we believe in a regulated, transparent DeFi world. That, for us, is the only way we believe the industry is really going to scale and where numbers are going to start getting it super interesting. I'm sure over the day you've seen a lot of slides and had a lot of pictures, so I really wanted to keep things super short and just show you a handful of slides for you to get a feel and then maybe open up to questions. So from the outset, our vision was very much to create an app to drive mass adoption of DeFi and its yields. I've talked a little bit about how, by having these values of compliance, governance, and so on. So onto the app itself. As you can see here, the app was designed to look and feel like a traditional banking app. You go to the App Store, you download the app, you transfer fiat currency into the app, and you go through KYC and AML. So these are processes that everyone has done many times before, and we feel remove a significant amount of the friction points from traditional crypto wallets. That's the first point. The second point is we've built the app to allow customers to benefit from the yields of cryptocurrency without them ever having to interact with cryptocurrency. So as you can see on the app, we show a fiat balance. The app works in 3 currencies, in euro, pounds, and of course US dollars. And the way it works is in real time, it accrues your rewards, your yield. Today, on US dollars, we're able to give in excess of 6%. In euros, it's around 4%, and in pounds, around 4.5%. Now, those are the numbers we're able to give in a very depressed market. But even those numbers still represent something like a 20-fold improvement from what a customer is generally able to get at a bank. We don't have minimums, and we don't have restrictions on the minimum amount of time you have to keep the currency in the vault. I think where things get super interesting is because we've taken this view that we want it to be compliant, we want it to be regulated, we want it to offer as much transparency as possible. We've now been in a position, and we're very far down the line, in dealing with some of the largest insurance companies in the world, because we believe by February we'll be able to offer a principal guaranteed product, therefore ensuring 100% of the principal invested in the app in the first place. So this becomes very much like the government schemes offered here in America, across Europe, where you have, depending on the country, but somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 guaranteed and insured. So this gives us a comparable parallel system to what people bank with today. And everything we're doing is designed with one thing in mind. How do we drive mass adoption? For those who don't know, less than 400,000 people in the world have ever actually taken part in staking. So the problems we're solving, other than the onboarding, is how do we go from 400,000 to 4 million? So we feel really strongly that the way to do it is by giving something to customers that they understand intuitively and something that looks and feels like something they're already using. We've kept the user interface super simple. As you can see, it looks like pretty much any neo-banking app when you open the app. Balances are shown in the same way, and we don't try and confuse people by talking about cryptos. One of the key aspects of what we do is providing world-class institutional-grade KYC and AML. Now, this keeps us really at the forefront of things for two reasons. One, it enables us to consult with regulators around the world and act with best practices. But two, it opens up another class of customer for us. By being regulated, by having world-class KYC, it enables us to work with institutions as well as consumers. We see a massive opportunity with corporate treasury. In Europe alone, we've identified around 250,000 SMEs, which have between 1 and 10 million euro, which is never touched in corporate treasury. And we see a really big opportunity in bringing them on board, giving them a system that is very intuitive to them, something that they've, like what they've already used before. In building the business, there's three aspects to our business. There's the front end, what the consumer is or the business is interacting with in order to make the deposit. There's the back end, how we generate the yield. Now, we do that with two distinct groups. We're integrated with the decentralized partners, some of the biggest names out there, the Curves and the Yearns and the Compounds of the world. But also we have direct relationships with centralized exchanges, again, some of the biggest in the world, which give us a regulated product. Now, last but not least, it's the operating systems with which we manage the business. So our internal admin panels, our management information systems, the things that allow us to operate our business smoothly and leanly, allowing a handful of people to operate the business with all the alerts and systems in place. I think for the moment, I don't really want to bore you with more slides. And at this point, I'll open up for questions if anyone has any. Well, no questions is always a good thing because it usually means I've preempted most of the questions in the pitch. I will be here all afternoon and tomorrow, and I look forward to answering any more questions in person. Our booth is just down the road there. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.